weekend. It is Monday night. Tonight we are going to talk about how to turn your intermittent fasting into results. And we're going to specifically talk tonight about the research that you're doing and the information that you're gathering, and what do you do with all of that information, and at what point should you start actually implementing. So I'm sorry, I'm just adjusting this camera here so we're not all crooked over there. So welcome. My name is Diane, and for the past 25 years, I have been helping women find nutritional plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And here in this community, we are doing that through intermittent fasting. I always ask that when you jump on, you leave a comment for me in the comment section, whether you're here on Facebook or you're here on YouTube. That way, at the end of the broadcast, I can take a few minutes and welcome you and answer any questions or comments that you might have about tonight's topic or anything that we have going on in the community tonight. And always make sure that you like or subscribe if you're new as well. That way, when we do go live or we post information here in this community, you will be notified. So, intermittent fasting is a huge buzz right now, and for a lot of good reasons. It is an amazing lifestyle to live and can really do some fantastic things for our overall health and well-being if done correctly. So information is everywhere. There's plenty of people talking about it. There's pros and cons to some of the research and information that's out there. But nonetheless, there's plenty of places to gather information. And if you're curious and you start doing some searching around, you will not be short of finding answers to questions that you might have. But at what point in your journey of researching, and at what point of your journey of asking questions, should you just trust the process and start to implement some of the things that you're learning? And I always recommend that if you're looking for some answers to some questions and you feel satisfied about the answers that you're getting, and you're not in a position where a little trial and error would put you in a place that might set you backwards, then I say you should always start immediately. Especially if you're coming from a place where you're not feeling well or you're not feeling happy about some of the things that are going on with your overall health and well-being, or maybe just your body in general. Because if you're coming from a place where you're not happy, or you're coming from a place where you're frustrated, or you're coming from a place where you're not feeling well, then the trial and error part is definitely worth it, because most likely you're not going to feel any worse, and the probability of you feeling better is pretty high. And that's exactly what I started doing when I started on this journey now. Something like 2 years ago, I think it is. And when I had my year of trial and error, yeah, it was a little bit frustrating. But again, there wasn't as much information out there, especially for women, and especially for women like we're gathering up in here in this community, where we're going through the aging process and things are happening that we feel shouldn't be happening to our body. And so there wasn't a lot of information or a lot of places I could go where I could find a like-minded person or a like situation person. So I trialed and error based on the things that I was finding. And yes, there was some periods of time that were frustrating, but I always learned something along the way. And I'm really grateful for that time of implementation and a little bit of the error that I had to go through, because I learned some things. I learned some things about my body. I learned some things about myself. I learned some things about the process, and really feel like everything that I went through was for a purpose. And so if you are searching and you're asking questions and you're spending time doing all the gathering of things that you should be doing, I highly recommend that you start doing some implementation. You're never going to find information that is straight to the point, totally perfect for you, with a plan that is going to tell you to do X, Y, Z and get a definite result. And if you do get those kind of answers, those are the ones that I would be weary of, because every body is so different that no one can really prescribe anything for you that is going to be cookie cutter, or they shouldn't prescribe anything for you that is going to be cookie cutter, because we all come into this situation with so many varying circumstances, whether it be what we've experienced in the past, what we're currently experiencing, or what it is that we're trying to do to get ourselves out. And so you have to allow yourself a little bit of grace and a little bit of time to maybe find out that some things aren't going to work for you the way other people are saying that they're working for them. And that's all fine. That's part of the process. A lot of the reason why us women get to this point in our life where we start to feel like we're breaking down and we start to get sick and we get so frustrated and we have this weight that we've put on that we can't get rid of is because of the fact that we followed a cookie cutter plan that wasn't necessarily specifically designed for us, or wasn't something that we tested and found out that it really didn't work for us. It wasn't until we actually failed at it, or put ourselves into a position where we maybe have compromised some hormonal balance in our body that put us in a place where we've done it so many times that we finally have broken down a little bit. And so I say do your research, and if it sounds pretty sound and it doesn't sound like it's going to harm you, do what I always recommend in our courses, and that's do a 7-day test. Try something for 7 days. See how you feel. 7 days is usually about enough time for your body to go through the process of change and for you to decide whether it's going to work for you or not. And if you are listening to those signs and signals that your body is sending you and you're implementing some things, there's a pretty good chance you're going to know by about day 3 or 4 whether it's working for you or not. And you're going to be able to decide whether, yes, you like the results, but you don't like the lifestyle that you have to keep up, or you love the lifestyle, but the results really aren't really what you are looking for. And then you can kind of tweak things along the way. And this is where I really do recommend going through one of the courses that we have online, or the course more specifically that we'll be launching here in the next week for 2018. I've gathered all this information and I share with you where it was that I trialed and erred, and where it was that I was able to tweak some things to find some success for myself. And I've really cut it down for you with a cookie cutter plan that is opened up for you to put you in, so that you can just take the information and then consider your life and your circumstances and whether or not the information that we have available will work for you. And then we tweak it along the way. And so you really do have an opportunity to design a plan with the latest information that's out there, with women's experiences tied into that, and an opportunity for you to just wake up to those signs and signals that your body is sending you so that you can implement the research. Intermittent fasting is so great in so many ways for women, and it does coincide with what we're going to use as our theme for 2018. And I know my own personal year, I name my year every year and how I want to live my life. And my year for 2018 has been named Do Nothing and Embrace Everything. And I think that was the biggest thing, the biggest aha moment I had when I started doing my research about intermittent fasting, and when I really started developing a plan that made really good sense for my life, was that if I just did nothing for a majority of my day, as far as food goes, and as far as putting things into my body, if I did just nothing, I didn't think about it, I didn't worry about when my next meal was coming, and I just let my body do what it was designed to do, then I could yield the results that I was looking for. And that's exactly what ended up happening. And that's how the evolution of our course came about, was really teaching women that it's okay to just do nothing for a while. And your body will put itself into that place of fasting and self-healing. And then what you do in the feasted state will determine how your body responds to everything that you're doing as far as making changes. And so I do end up taking out a lot of those little nuances of what you can do, what you can't do, and just really teach you to be comfortable in the state of nothing and in the state of hungry, and allowing magic to happen for you and your body when we just are at peace and are okay with slowing down enough to just let ourselves be. And I know, as a busy woman myself and an A-type personality who is somewhat of a perfectionist, that doing nothing and being still and being calm and being present was one of the biggest challenges that I had through that year of trial and error. That I'm just not used to doing nothing, and I'm not used to just being okay with letting things be and not having everything planned out. And when I really embraced the do nothing part of intermittent fasting, and let my body be in control of what it was supposed to do as far as taking care of itself, that's really when everything started to make a positive change for me, not only health wise, but it did a lot for me in my life in general, and it did a lot for me as far as how I looked at where I was going in my life. And I can say in the past 2 years, everything in my life has completely changed as far as the way I'm managing my health, the way I'm managing my life, the way I look at food, and how I've been able to mend some of those past scars that I've been carrying around with me as far as dieting situations and even body image issues, where when you let your body do what it's designed to do for itself, backed up with the information that you've gathered up and really been able to kind of cipher through and pull out the things that make sense for you, really magical things can happen. And I would have to say that this last year for me has been pure magic, and what I've been able to do to completely reverse everything that I was battling as far as becoming an aging woman. And I took that research that I gathered and I implemented it. So the key is making sure that when you're gathering information, you implement it and you give it a good, solid test run. And it's okay if not everything works. Not everything is going to work. There are plenty of things that I tossed out the window, and then there was things that I kind of pulled in and implemented and then learned how to tweak a little bit as well to work not only for my own body system, but the life that I've designed for myself and my family, so that I can truly live in my life authentically while still doing really good things for my body, and learning how to even let go some of those guilts where you just said no thank you to some things because it didn't align with what it was that you wanted for yourself. So being able to really reverse some things that you're not happy with your body based on the decisions that you're making for yourself, because you've done some research and because you've done some implementing and because you did some trial and erroring, really does put you in a place where you feel a little bit invincible. And that is not a bad thing for women to feel, when you feel like you're strong about decisions that you're making for yourself. That then ends up spilling over into other aspects of your life. And like I always say here, when you're an empowered woman and you're a healthy woman and you're confident and you're feeling good about decisions that you're making for yourself, and you have that experience about making decisions for yourself and having those decisions actually work the way they're supposed to, you can become a pretty strong and unstoppable human being. And that's really what I love about this community of women that we have gathered here, is that we're not only getting healthy, but so many other areas of our life are also making such great turns for the better. And I think that's really all we want in life, especially at a stage of life where we're kind of done with certain things. We've done such a great job with our kids, and our husbands are doing well and thriving. And, we have this time and this energy and all these resources available to us, and we can look to the future with optimism as opposed to dread of not feeling well or being unhappy with the skin we're in, or even, that we've broken down before, that just starting off your day and standing in your closet and having it be a happy place again is such a great thing that I think we often take for granted. And we can have all of that back. And it really starts with doing your research and then being comfortable with the fact that it's totally okay to take several hours of your day and do absolutely nothing, so that your life will open up, so that you can embrace everything. And that's really our goal here. So if you have been researching, I strongly recommend that you trust some of the things that you've researched and just jump in and try some things out. We will have our 2018 course ready for registration at some point this week. I'm not going to promise a day, because with a new course launch and registration and getting things set up, we always run into a couple of snafus. And so I don't want anyone to feel disappointed if we say we're going to have something available on a certain day and it doesn't work out. This week, we will open up registration for 2018. And I know I am personally super excited about what we have in line for you guys for 2018. I announced last week that I just completed, and I just received in the mail today, my certification for my nutrition course that I just finished. So I'm a certified exercise nutritionist. I'm super excited to bring a lot of that into the course as well, and I'll share some with this community here, because feasting is really the part of all of this that we all seem to struggle with. And again, I think that's just how we've been kind of wired as women, that everything has to be so complicated when the reality is it can be really simple, and we just got to find our go-to things and then make sure that they're working for us in our everyday life. So I'm going to share a little bit of that process and what we do here in the Parham household as well, and some personal things that I've done for myself, and how what I've learned as a certified exercise nutritionist has really, some of the things that I've learned about food has really changed a lot of even the past beliefs that I've had about some certain things, and I'll share all that with you guys as well. But I'm super excited for you guys to get enrolled and participate with us in our course for 2018. So YouTube, if you don't mind, I'm going to jump over here to Facebook and say hello to everyone really quickly. And then I'll jump on over there and answer your guys' questions and greet you guys over there. D. May, hello, good to have you here. Cindy, nice to have you. Janet, always nice to have you on with us live from Nevada. Claire from the UK, insomnia is back, 3 a.m. here. Good to see you. I'm sorry that you're joining us because you have insomnia, but it's always nice to have you here. What are you doing to try to fend off your insomnia, Claire? Let me know if you don't know what to do, or if you're trying some stuff and it's not working. I'll see if I can get some tweaks for you. Michelle, good to have you here. Jody from Washington State, always good to have you. Hello. Michelle, I messed up this past weekend. No, you didn't mess up, Michelle. You just made some different choices that didn't turn out so well. All you got to do is change the choices that you're making and get yourself right back on track. So I'm very, very serious about words that we use to describe decisions that we make. So Michelle, you didn't mess up. You just made choices that your body didn't like. So just take that as a learning experience and make some new choices. Yvonne, good to see you. I know I was thinking about you today. I was hoping you were going to be on. I haven't seen you for a while, so it's always good to have you here. I've been gone too. It's nice to be back for the live video. Always good to have you guys. You guys are my alumni peeps. I love having you here. Cheryl, so freeing. Good for you, girlfriend. Claire, I know this works, but have had a very stressful time the last 2 months, and my fasting window has gradually diminished, and I increased the carbs and sugar. Not surprisingly, I have gained a few pounds and feel worse. You have encouraged me today to get back on board. Thank you. Claire, good for you, girlfriend. And that's the key right there, is listening to those signs and signals, right? So if you know. Okay, and this goes back to the research, right? So we know through studies, and we know through information that's being delivered to us via all kinds of avenues, that sugar and carbs are just not good for us. I mean, they are the ticket to bad feelings. They're the ticket to weight gain. They're the ticket to what a lot of us have suffered here with pre-diabetic situations, with insulin resistance situation, and sugar and carb overload have been directly linked to very specific autoimmune disorders and cancer. You guys, that's a fact. Why are we still playing with that information? Like, why are we still willing to sacrifice a day of feeling good with information that we know to be true and factual? So when you have stress in your life, it's already a situation where your body is going to be dealing with a lot of those elevated stress hormones, and you're going to have that extra inflammation, and your cortisol levels are going to be up, and the insomnia kicks in. The best thing you can do in a stressful situation is fast, not feast. Because when your body is in a fight or flight situation and your stress hormones are elevated and you're feeling all out of control and all out of whack, you are generally not going to reach for the best of foods. And you're going to definitely reach for food in a situation where your body probably doesn't need it. So take advantage of those situations of high stress and fast it away. Don't feed stress. You are going to come out of a stressful situation feeling 10 times worse than probably the situation was itself. And why do we continue to do that for ourselves? We should know at this point that never ends well. So this is where I say journal stuff. Journal it out. And keep a record so that when you enter into a stressful situation, you have a game plan and you can make decisions that are going to end that stressful situation better than what got you into it. And you have to make that something that you exercise and that you practice so that you're familiar with it, and then you have an experience. Oftentimes all we have to do is just broaden our window of experiences, right? And so if you can get through a stressful situation and you fast and you don't turn to, some of those old foods that got you into sick and feeling bad situations in the first place, and you can come out of a stressful situation feeling strong and empowered, then you've broken that cycle and you've created new triggers for stress, and you will do so much better for your body in the long haul. And I know it's difficult, but you just got to practice it. Michelle, good evening. By the way, I love your top. Oh, thank you so much. I think this is like a Target top or something like that. But thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Tom's mom, Ang from Australia. So happy to be tuning in live while visiting my son in Perth and waiting for grandson to be born. Oh, congratulations. That's exciting. My growling ghrelin is very active this morning. So great to be able to distract in such a positive way. This will take me till noon while I'll have my cup of black coffee. Good for you. And congratulations on having a new grandbaby born. That is cool stuff. Cindy, been doing 16/8 and lost, but have stalled now. Would switching up hours help? Yes, most definitely. Nancy, what is the best meal to break the fast? Anything that is high fat, moderate protein, low carb. That's the best way I can describe it. And then you're going to have to play around with your foods. Joan, hi from Colorado. Hello, Joan from Colorado. Judy, from El Paso, does lime in your water break your fast? Yes, for most people it does. I wouldn't play around with it. If you're going to be in a fasted state, I always recommend being in a truly fasted state. Water, black coffee, black tea. And even I was reading something this weekend where even black coffee for some people can stall a weight loss. So we're going to talk a lot about that in the course as well. Like when you are intermittent fasting to heal a sick body versus intermittent fasting to maintain a well body. And there's definitely different ways to fast in those two states. And so we're going to go over a lot of this in our 2018 course, because I know we have a lot of healed people here. Like, I'm a healed woman. The way I fast now is very different than I fasted when I was desperately trying to heal my body. And once your body is trained to be a fat burner as opposed to being addicted to being a sugar burner, and those are two completely different situations. You do have to train your body. But once it's trained and you have experienced the energized sense of calm, and your body can efficiently and effectively burn ketones as a source of energy to fuel your brain and help your body utilize the fat burning advantages of being in a fasted state, then you can jump in and out pretty quickly. But you have to be able to tune into those signs and signals to be able to do that and know where your own personal boundaries are in a fasted and a feasted state. And that takes training, time, and consistency. So I will teach you guys both of those ways of fasting in our course, because the goal is to be healed. And once you're healed, then you have flexibility. I always try to teach that if you're not healed and you're not feeling happy about where your weight is or your health is or your mind is, then you have to stick it out and you have to fast clean, because you don't have any time to waste. And the benefits that you'll reap from intermittent fasting and what you're doing in your feasting window will come to you so quickly, and you'll be so relieved by it, and you'll realize that you've been kind of just torturing yourself doing it the other way. So I'll teach both ways, the healed fast and the maintenance fast, so you guys will see the difference. Laura, hello. Justine, hello. Tanya, hello, good to see you. Fresh Fruit Ministries, Chicago's here, still loving your new cut. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Today was a hair wash day, so it's a little fresher than most days. Josephine from Spain, good to have you here. Agata, I think it is, Agata from Finland, good to have you here. Nice to see you. I think you're new. Make sure you subscribe. I don't think I've recognized your name coming on here before. Nikita from Washington, holiday mini course graduate and current alumni student. So good to have you with us. Donna, what are your thoughts on sunflower lecithin and air popped corn? Okay, so I don't eat corn at all if I can help it. So there are times when maybe corn might be in something, it sneaks in, but corn and soybeans to me are on the same level as far as being highly GMO'd. And the reason those two things are highly GMO'd is so that they can withstand the pesticides that are sprayed on those crops, so that weeds and everything else around it can be killed, and the corn and the soybean. Sorry about that, YouTube, you just fell off my thing. The corn and the soybean can sustain the negative effects of the pesticides. So I don't feel good at all on corn. Like corn now for me is the same thing that soybean was for me in the past. Meaning like I can eat something and within seconds of ingesting it into my system, I can feel it. And I would wake up with really heavy bags, weighted bags sort of under my eyes, and my brain would be a mess. And so I could always tell within just a couple of bites of something that it had corn in it. So I read every label now and I don't do corn at all. I get an occasional slip up because something, like if we go out to eat or something and then I just know it and I just kind of get through it. But at home, no corn at all. So I don't do popcorn. Air popped popcorn is better, I guess, than regular popcorn, but we are not afraid of fat. So the reason air popped popcorn came about was so that you didn't have to use butter or oil to pop your popcorn. Well, I've eaten coconut popcorn before and it is amazing. So I would say if you're going to have popcorn, put it in a pan with some coconut oil and grease it up and add some fat to it. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. Add some good Himalayan sea salt or something to it. It's a great snack if you want to put corn into your body. I don't really like to put corn into my body. I don't even do the non-GMO corn. I just don't trust it. It doesn't make me feel well. So that's that personal thing. It's probably more than you wanted to know in an answer, but I just don't do corn at all. And I would say if you're intermittent fasting and you're following a high fat, moderate protein, conscious carbohydrate diet, then don't be afraid to put some oil in your popcorn. Coconut oil popcorn is to die for. It tastes so good. So I'd say fatten it up and just cook it in a pot like, I always say cook it in a pot like your grandmother would do. I know my grandmother used to pop popcorn in a pot, and she would shake it up and she had like her oven mitts on the side so she wouldn't burn her hands or whatever. And like, that's the way we should be eating popcorn if you're going to eat popcorn. Just make sure it's good oil. Okay, so let's see. Let's get off the air popcorn thing. Let's see who else we got here. Where did I go? What do you think of popcorn during fasting? Oh, that's the second one. That's interesting. Let's see. I lost my place, you guys. I'm so sorry. Had some processed sweets on Friday and felt fine. However, Saturday and Sunday I had a splitting headache. Let's see. And was very nauseated. I was shocked by my body response and did not know how to fix my body. You fasted away. Anytime you ingest some food, you take in food that doesn't make you feel well, the best thing that you can do is fast it away. And sunflower lecithin, sunflower lecithin is definitely better than soybean lecithin, but I think I was reading something in a nutrition guide that said any kind of lecithin is a bad thing, and I think it's because it's just a filler agent, but it's in everything. So here's my take on those kind of things, is do the best you can with the resources that you have available, right? So if you have an option to have something that has sunflower lecithin in it over soybean lecithin, then you're better off. But remember, anything with lecithin in it is going to be a processed food, and we want to kind of keep those to a minimum anyways. With that being said, just make your best choice, and sunflower lecithin is always going to be better than soybean lecithin. So test it out, and then your body will tell you if it's not good for you, because it'll send you some sort of signal that whatever you put in your body, it wasn't good. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Renee from Chile, Minnesota. It's chilly here too, Renee. Oh my gosh, we've been freezing. Michelle from Baytown, Texas, September graduate. Donna, good evening from Murrieta. Just finished holiday mini course and new alumni student. Good to have you, Donna. Let's see. Rebecca from Lubbock, Texas. Good to have you. Bridget, hello. Second week in IF and feel so good. Can do 18-9 fast. Spend a 2-hour meeting with pizza in front of me, and I was quiet at the end of my fasting and not any desire for it. Okay, good. So yeah, so that's when you know when you're kind of becoming fat adaptive is when you can look at food and your hunger hormones are balancing out and you can say no thank you without feeling like you're being deprived of anything. So congratulations. That's good that you noticed that. Sandy, Cali girl here. Love your videos. It is a lifeline. Oh, so good, Sandy. After 3 rounds of antibiotics for tooth abscess, gave up and relied on IF, and after 3 weeks, it's gone. Yes, intermittent fasting can clear away all of those things because your body's just going to heal itself. And then I'm trying to think of there's something else for abscess teeth that's supposed to work well too, some like natural thing, but good for you for trying IF. And when you're done with your antibiotics, intermittent fasting too will kind of help get your gut biome back in shape. So Narita, hello from Australia. Ida, I think I answered the popcorn question, Sandy, or hopefully I did. Wiley, Texas, current alumni course. Anna from Ohio, hello. Lori Ann. August grad and alumni, just turned the big 5-0 and feeling fantabulous. Well, that's a great word. So grateful to you, Di, and wonderful supportive community, ready to get 2018 started. Yep, good for you. And you're not waiting. That's awesome. Get started in December. Shirley, excited to give it a try. Thank you for all your hard work and sharing your life with us. Oh, Shirley, you're so welcome. Kimberly from Spokane is here. Tracy, I've been recovering from a full knee replacement, so I haven't been on here for a while. I will say IF has saved me from eating all day long. Good. And Tracy, it'll help your body heal. So make sure you're fasting clean while you're recovering. Lisa from Florida. Carla, what is your daily time investment for your new 2018 course? Daily videos are maxed out at 15 minutes, so no more than a 15-minute message from me. And then you just implement what you learn into your life every day. So not much time at all. Kimberly, do you have a book you recommend for new IFers? I talk about the books that I like the most in my course. But I would say the best book would be The Complete Guide to Intermittent Fasting by Dr. Jason Fung. Tracy, I've also begun a keto lifestyle and I'm finally seeing big difference in my body and how I feel. Good for you. What are your thoughts on keto? Tracy, I'll answer that in just a second. Linda, hello, girlfriend. Glad to have this healthy focus on the holiday season. Yes, Jennifer, it is the best time to focus on your health is during the holidays, and we all tend to kind of ditch good common sense nutrition choices. Ellie, greetings from, I think it's Oklahoma, July grad. Good for you. Nancy from Canada. Nancy, good to have you here too. So what are my thoughts on keto? Okay, so if it's the ketogenic diet as described in a ketogenic diet plan or book, I personally don't agree with it. Now, a ketogenic type of lifestyle or reducing your carbohydrate intake so you can take advantage of your body producing ketones, I think that's fantastic. And the beautiful thing about intermittent fasting, and I think we are going to have this as a subject this week, as a matter of fact, I'm sorry, YouTube, I'm trying to fix this so you don't just see my forehead down, is that intermittent fasting is a way to hack your way into keto because of just time of not having any food in your body. So if you want to take advantage of the benefits that are provided to you with following a ketogenic type of lifestyle, intermittent fasting and a high fat, moderate protein, conscious carbohydrate diet is the best way to go. You don't have to really be carb restrictive. You have to be carb conscious. And that's really what I teach in the course. So I don't believe that you have to follow a ketogenic diet by the book. And every ketogenic diet that I have looked at is so dairy heavy that I couldn't live it anyway, because I can't do creams, I can't do butters, we're not big coconut oil people or MCT oil. Every time we try to drink MCT oil or coconut oil, my husband and I both have an adverse reaction to it. And so what I have found is that the best thing and what I really try to teach is create your own diet. Buy the nutrition that you have available to you. That's part of your lifestyle. That's part of your customs. That's part of your traditions. That's part of how you were brought up, the foods that make you feel your best. And find ways to put those in your life that will yield you the result where you look and feel your best and can live your most authentic life. And that can never happen if you follow someone else's diet. So if you're looking for a way to incorporate nutrition into your life, then I say, take little bits and pieces, and this is how I teach how to read nutrition books. Read a nutrition book and take an aha moment from it and try to implement that. And then read another nutrition book and take an aha moment from that and then implement that into your life. And then you're constantly learning and reading. And by the time you get done, reading a few books and implementing a few aha moments or doing your research and trying some new things, then you'll have your own diet plan and you'll have your own sort of nutrition arsenal that you can go to that will yield the result of you actually looking and feeling your best and living your most authentic life. If I followed a ketogenic diet to become ketogenic per the way the diet is designed, I would be really sick because I just can't eat that kind of food. If I followed a paleo lifestyle, I would be really sick because there's a lot of foods in that lifestyle that my body just doesn't do well with. And so even just saying that I'm dairy free or gluten free, like I don't say those things anymore because they put you in a box and they make you feel like you have to live by certain guidelines. And if I said I was gluten free and then had some pizza, then I failed or I cheated or I lied or I'm not living authentic or however you want to put it. And that just puts too much weight on us emotionally and mentally. So I would say take yourself out of the boxes and don't worry about living a specific lifestyle. Create one for yourself that's going to yield you the result that you're looking for. And I would say if you're going to do anything, study the ketogenic diet and find aspects of it that you think make sense for you and that you could live, and then try it. And if it works for you, then that's your jam. And if it doesn't work for you, then pick it apart a little bit and take out the things that work for you. And then put in some things that maybe are going to make you live happily as well. A lot of people, especially women for some reason that I know of, and I know that there's women that this doesn't apply to, but have a really hard time sustaining a keto diet. And I'm in awe of people that can, because I think that that's fantastic because it does kind of make sense, but I just wouldn't be happy living that way. So you have to factor the happiness into that way. You don't feel like you're constantly failing and then restarting a diet. Jennifer, I already answered your comments, so thanks for leaving that there. Tracy, yes, reducing carbs, exactly what I've been doing. Learned it from you. Love what you teach. Okay, good, Tracy. Yeah, you don't have to eliminate everything. Just eliminate the carbs that don't make sense. Like, we know that a bowl of, cereal in the morning is not the best thing for us. We know that, a heavy pasta lifestyle is not good for us. We know a bunch of bread's not good for us. Just read the Brain Grain, or the Grain Brain, I think what it is called. That book will scare the living daylights out of you. It'll make you never want to have your kitty to sandwich again, but for other people it's fine. So, you really have to just trial and error it and figure out what is best for you and what's going to make you the happiest. But we do know for a fact, it has been proven, that we do not need to live on all those complex carbs. Ida, just picked up the Passion Test book today, starting my personal development. Yay, so good. And I just talked to someone about the Passion Test the other day. And this is how I read personal development books as well, is read the Passion Test as a blueprint. Don't read it as the be-all, end-all. Take things from the Passion Test that make sense for you, but don't try to do it perfectly. Use the book as a means to ignite thoughts and ideas and excitement in your own mind about what you want your life to be, or to help you figure out maybe if you feel like you're missing something or you're not feeling happy about waking up every day. Why is that? And use the book to answer your own questions, but don't try to reproduce your life via the book, because you'll get stuck and you won't put anything into action. So read the book to just invigorate yourself and get some things moving, and then put some things in motion, just sort of like we're talking here tonight. It's great to have all this information about intermittent fasting, but it's not going to do you any good if you don't put it to work. Same thing with personal development books. Read them for aha moments, take the aha moments and implement them, and then move on to the next book and look for some new aha moments. And that's really how I do read books. Let's see. Amy from Northern California, how are you? How are you tonight? Is it getting cold in Northern California too? Gina from Yorba Linda, loving IF. I finally found my groove and the weight is falling off. I'm still a long way from healing, but I'm heading in the right direction. I'm so happy I found you. Thank you, Diane. Gina, you're so welcome. And if you are losing weight, that is a huge sign that you're healing. So just keep doing what you're doing, and let time and consistency be on your side of things. So just because you're feeling good and because you're losing weight, don't throw in the, don't start throwing in the towel or loosening up things. Stick with what you're doing, because what you're doing is working, and you'll yield an even better result. And then you'll be an IF for life for sure. For sure. Kimberly from Arizona. Hello. Shelly, I woke up at 5:30 a.m. and I'm usually break my fast at 2. 5:30 to 2. 5:30 a.m. to 2 a.m.? That's a long time. Did you mean 2 p.m. maybe? Londa, how do you eat chips and salsa and not have corn? Do you give them up? Oh no, I eat mostly Siete brand. It's Siete Foods brand chips. They're grain free, so there's no corn in them. If I do eat chips of any kind, I always turn the bag around and read the ingredients, because some very unlikely chips will have corn in them. And then, like I say, I try my best to not eat corn. And we have found that there is one restaurant here in Texas that does not use soybean oil, and for some reason their corn doesn't make me feel sick. So that's the only time I have real corn tortilla chips, is when I eat them at that restaurant. And I don't know if the corn's any better or any worse, but I don't feel sick when I eat them. So that's the exception I make for that. But everything else I eat, when I eat chips, it's the Siete Foods brand, and they're grain free. And I'm really close to just taking chips with me when I go to a Mexican restaurant, because I do love chips and salsa and I don't want to give that up, but I also don't want to be sick. So I'm really close to just being that person that brings my own chips with me. I'll let you guys know when I do that and how that goes over. Shelly, I work out at 5 a.m. Okay, yeah, good for you. Terry Hopkins, The Passion Test book. Yep. Does your body adapt to losing weight? Like, will it stabilize at what your ideal weight should be doing IF? Yeah, I think so. I don't really try to lose weight anymore. And what I notice, and this is just a body system thing for women, I think, is that there's some days I wake up and I feel like super, super lean. And then there's other days I wake up and I just feel okay. And then there's other days I woke up and I'm like, ugh, what's going on? Nothing in my life's really changed. It's just my hormones and body adjusting. So what will happen is your body will not let you starve to death. So that's why I always say go with what your body is telling you and really listen to those signs and signals. On those days when you feel satiated and you don't feel like you need to eat, it's okay to not eat. Like, that's a sign and signal that your body is sending you. Because there will also be those days where when you're in your feasting window, you will want to eat everything in sight for your entire feasting window. That's okay too. That's another signal that your body is sending you. So really get good with tapping into those signs and signals, and your body will let you know what it needs. I'm not at the lowest weight that I've been. I'm at the healthiest weight I've been. Definitely not at the lowest. But and I'm going to talk about this in a discussion that we have this week too. But I just wore the smallest size pair of jeans that I've ever purchased in my entire life. And I weigh the same that I've weighed for the last year, and this is the weight that I've weighed for the past, off and on for the past several years. And it's my steady weight, but I'm in the smallest pair of jeans that I've ever worn. And I'll explain to you why I think that is and when we do a live this week. So your body finds its steady point, and we live in a world where food's readily available and we have really good food, and so it's not like you're going to starve to death. And you'll eat when you need to eat, and if you're eating nutrient-dense foods, that's the best way to feed a hungry body. And when your body is not in need of those calories, it will send you those signs and signals too. And I always suggest never feed a full body. That's overeating, and we don't want to do that either. Okay, so I think that is all the questions. I wanted to show you guys, because I know I've been getting a lot of questions about the Passion Planner. So I have one here that just came in. So this is what I've been using for the past couple of years, as far as how I write my goals and how I track my life and how I write everything down. Like, this is my my go-to. I don't do anything until I look into this book. I don't schedule anything. I don't make commitments for anything. I put my life in here. And this is what I'm going to be doing the Passion Planner planning group with on the 27th of December. So this is what it looks like. You can get it on Amazon at DiesFavoriteThings.com. I think they're back in stock there, or you can go to passionplanner.com directly. Either way, whatever is most convenient for you guys. But it's a really great book, has lots of positive stuff, lots of places to write things down. And I'm going to show you guys how I get my planner set up and how I utilize it to make sure that I stay on track with everything that I want to do, and how I manage my fasting and my feasting and keep little notes about my workouts and all that kind of stuff. So that's the Passion Planner that we've been talking about for the people that have been asking. And this is another one. This is actually a gift for my beautiful Kara. I got her one. I try to get her one every year, but this is how it comes in the box. It's really pretty. She's got the gold one. They have really cool colors and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a really good, nice tool if you're looking for a way to kind of plan your life out. And if you're doing the passion test and you have some big things that you're setting up for yourself, always having a good planner to write things down is a great way to kind of keep track of your progress. So we will be doing that December 27th. If you're not on our email list yet, make sure you get on. We've decided that we're going to go ahead and set up a big Facebook group for everyone who wants to do the Passion Planner thing. And I'm sorry if you're not on Facebook and you're on YouTube, you will have an invite go out via email, and I'll send some emails out keeping you guys up on some tips and tricks as well. But the best place for us to gather for this kind of thing is always on Facebook, just because of the group format kind of thing. And we're going to try to stay together for the year and help keep each other accountable to keeping up with our Passion Planner, and for making sure that we're keeping up with the goals that we wrote down in it. Maybe we'll do like a quarterly meetup and share some of the things that we're doing to utilize our Passion Planner to help us be successful in 2018. So if you want to get into that group, I would highly recommend it. I do suggest you get a Passion Planner for that, just because then we're all on the same boat, but it's not required. I'm not going to require you guys to do anything to be in that group. It's all going to be based on what you guys want to do, but the Passion Planner is what I use, and so that's what I'll be teaching on. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off for tonight. As always, thank you so much for being here. It's always nice to meet back up with you guys after our long break over the weekend. So it's great to hear from you guys and see that you all are doing well and you're finding some nice success with what you're doing with your intermittent fasting. So I'll see you guys back here tomorrow night, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I will keep you posted on when our 2018 course registration is open. The actual course itself isn't going to start till I think January 11th. So we have plenty of time. So I don't want anyone to feel anxious or like they're missing out on anything. We're going to give you plenty of time to get registered and plenty of time to get into the group before we get started in January. So have a good night, you guys. Email me if you have any questions, and if you want to get on that Passion Planner group with us, just email me with the subject line Passion Planner so that we make sure that we get you on the right list. Okay? Have a good night, you guys.